Howdy Tarnished. It is Meowdy. How are you guys doing today? A very exciting day for us as the expansion for Elden Ring has finally been revealed. I know we've had the name for a while, but seeing some of the gameplay, some of the new mechanics, and the new bosses, it's very exciting. I do like that they kind of kept a lot of like the new world that we're getting a little kind of like hidden. We didn't really get to see much of it. I don't want to explain too much about the game. I'm assuming if you watch this, you played Elden Ring, and I'm assuming you watched the trailer. The one thing I really want to focus on today is that money, baby. That price tag has been a topic.
What?
Now, understandably, seeing $40 for just an addition to your video game is still something people aren't really used to nowadays, especially when we have full games. Pal World, Helldivers 2, around that $40 tag, that are full-fledged games. I don't think people really understand that this is not just like your DLC. This is not one dungeon, one boss. It is a full-on expansion to the Elden Ring game, arguably as equal to like an Elden Ring 2 more than it is to the term DLC. Personally, that's how I feel. Sorry if my audio changes a little bit. I was messing with some Audacity settings and I realized I had to set it a little too high, so it's a little different now. That's why. But that $40 price tag is hefty. Reminder, I believe the game came out at 60 or would it have been 70. I'll put it up here on the screen somewhere, the original price. So I do believe, and the concept of the game is that we're going into kind of like a Link's Awakening shadow world of the world between, or wherever. I can't remember what the world's called. I need to replay it before the DLC comes out. But seeing a lot of the new bosses, I'm very excited. Like I said, the new areas, I'm assuming, are going to be fantastic. It's going to be a good time. It's just that DLC price I keep seeing on the Steam community pages. I keep seeing it on Twitter. I keep seeing it on TikTok. People just can't get behind this $40 expansion price tag, which I think is a little... I understand why. I see the basis for like being against it. But this is a game that's already proven itself. I call it game of the decade already. It's gonna be very hard for a game to come out in the next 6 years that can compete with Elden Ring. This is as equal to me as, let's say, Skyrim, Last of Us, even, it sounds a little memey, but even Overwatch coming out in the 2010s. Those games that really defined the decade. Elden Ring came out so early in this decade, and I think it's going to hold that spot for so long. And this expansion is going to be what really sets its foot in there, really sets the mark. Look at, I guess, Baldur's Gate 3 is probably the closest to me, I believe, as Elden Ring's last, like, as a memento since Elden Ring came out. It really has only been Baldur's Gate 3 that's had that same power, you know? Like, it's been... Elden Ring's been on top for a while, baby. It's like original Dark Souls. It's just, it took the Dark Souls series and just quadrupled it. And I would really like to see this expansion do the same. And I truly think it is. I think this argument over the price tag is not going to last long, especially as we get closer to the release date. I'm not sure what kind of press we're going to get for Elden Ring, Shadows of the Erdtree. We might get more gameplay trailer, maybe more story trailers. I don't really think so. I really wouldn't mind if we don't see more trailers before the release, just because it is pretty soon. Relatively, June 21st is only, what, 4 or 5 months away? So it's realistically not that long of a wait. If this is all we get, and maybe a little bit of a recut of the trailer down the road, I'd be happy with that, going in as blind as possible, especially since we are getting a new, like, version of the world, the new bosses, and they already showed... Top of my head, I think, what, 3, 4, or 5 of the new bosses already, which is pretty confident, which makes me think we're going to have a lot in this game because they're already showing so much that in a deal, if this was like a generic DLC, that would be the, like, that would be all the content. Sorry about that, I just punched my mic. But yeah, this is gonna be kind of a shorter video. I just wanted to kind of rant here about the price, where I think the argument for against the $40 price is a little silly. I think it's okay. The game, it'd be different if this was in the same launch year, I could see that being a little weird, but the fact that it is 2 years since the release of Elden Ring with some change would be a June release date. I think 2 years this month, actually. But yeah, what do you guys think? $40 for the expansion for Elden Ring, is it worth it? Are you unhappy with the idea of paying 40 bucks for a DLC? It's not a DLC, it's an expansion. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Love you guys. I'll see you guys next time.